Welcome to Game Day's Best. This highlight video will cover the action that occurred in the most recent game day of the season that took place last week on July 3rd. There were 3 total games. The first one was Underdogs versus Wrecking Crew, a very important matchup between these two teams for each of their playoff hopes. We're picking it up in the second inning with Matthew Morton striking out Blake Larwick. Both he and Larwick had quite a pitching duel in this one. Matthew Morton cruising through the Underdogs lineup in the second. Here we are in the bottom of the third. Blake Larwick in the circle doing his thing, but Cameron Morton gets a piece of it and almost has what would have been either a home run or a triple and put a run on the board. But Brock Johnson has a great quick reaction and catches the hot ball to save the run. And then later in the inning, Cameron Morton does get a hit, a little single there to load up the bases. 2 outs, but Larwick works out of the jam against Allen Luff, painting the inside edge. Bottom of the 5th, Underdogs lead 2-0. Matthew Morton walked in a couple of runs in the middle of the game. Larwick has the bases loaded, but he gets to the second out. Now he's 1 pitch away from a shutout. But Allen Luff is going to break that up, and not only break it up, he's going to tie the game in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. So we're going to extra innings in the 6th. Matthew Morton loses some command and walks in a few runs. So now the Underdogs get back on top right away. Blake Larwick this time in the 6th. He's not going to give the Wrecking Crew another chance to come back. He gets through the 6th, only allowing 2 on. Underdogs pull an upset over the number 3 ranked Wrecking Crew. Here were the stats. Like I said, it was a pitcher's duel. The Underdogs got no hits, but still managed to win the game because Matthew Morton basically walked in more guys than Blake Larwick did. The Crew got a couple hits. Luff's big hit to send it to extras and Cameron Morton's hit, but wasn't enough. Blake Larwick just simply outpitched Matthew Morton in this game to get the win. Huge win for the Underdogs. All right, next game, Fog versus the Waves. Both teams had to win this game to stay alive in the National Conference playoff hunt. We're in the bottom of the 1st. Brody Lamb pitching for the Waves. He's going to give up a few early runs. Fog on top. Second inning, 3-0. Chase Johnson, he's dialed in from the start. Look at the screwball that he paints on the outside edge against Austin Lindquist batting there. And here's the 3rd out against Trenton Lamb. Skipping ahead to the 4th inning. Fog's still up, but it's not a huge cushion. All it would take is 1 bad inning from Chase Johnson for them to get back in it, and that's exactly what happens here. He loses command of the ball. Can't seem to hit that high and inside pitch. Finally, he does there. Barely tips it off the top against Lindquist to get a big out, and then with the score tied, is able to get another one. But the score is tied 5-5. Bottom of the 4th. We got a close, intense ball game now, and Brody Lamb has been very good ever since the beginning of that game. He rises to the occasion here in this inning. Look at the sinker that he drops out of the sky against Sean McFarland, and then gets Chase out on a beautiful rise ball. Bottom of the 5th, though, Brody Lamb is unable to do it again. This is Sean McFarland getting a single. 2 on with nobody outs. Danger territory for Lamb. Later with bases loaded and only 1 out, he walks in the winning run to Chase Johnson. Fog survive a sketchy situation and keep their season afloat. Brody Lamb, look at that stat line. Probably the best performance in his young career. And on the other side, Chase Johnson, a very, very nice game pitching. He is really on a roll right now in the circle, and batting wise, the Fog were able to get just a couple hits to make the difference to win this one. All right, Next game up, underdogs versus the Waves. Would the Waves give the underdogs a similar test that they gave the Fog? We're picking it up in the top of the second inning, and it appears that way. Brody Lamb stays very hot in the circle, but Blake Larwick is ready for the challenge as well. We're scoreless through 2 innings. In the third, Brody Lamb gets to the second out without any damage, but then he gives up a couple runs, so the underdogs get on the board, take a lead. In the bottom of the third, Blake Larwick stays completely locked in. We're skipping to the 5th inning now. 3-0, top of the 5th. Lamb gets out of a jam, and now the game comes down to, can the Waves put any runs on the board? They don't have any hits either. That's right, Blake Larwick, the rookie, has a no-hitter shutout going, and after that strike right there, he's 1 pitch away and then does it, getting Trenton Lamb out on the final one. A no-hitter shutout for the rookie. Here he is after the game. All right, no-hitter shutout. You've added your name now to the list of players who have done that. What did it feel like?
Felt good, hitting the board a lot. Feels good when they're not scoring.
Okay, tell me about your guys' batting, because if you do get in the playoffs here, that seems like a major issue right now in terms of being able to advance through the bracket.
Yeah, we're going to need to figure it out before we get there. We can't rely on pitching all the way to the chip.
He's not wrong about that. The underdogs' batting is atrocious right now. Brock Johnson, who is usually an all-star level hitter, is having one of the worst statistical seasons in his career. However, this game in particular was a pitcher's duel in every sense of the term. Blake Larwick just had more than Brody Lamb, who, after coming off probably his best career performance against the Waves, had a new career best performance in this one against the underdogs and still lost. That is heartbreaking for him. But this is the last game for the Waves of the JL24 season. But if Brody Lamb keeps up what he did in this game day, next year the Waves are going to be a very tough team. Blake Larwick, though, is the story of this game day. He went toe-to-toe with Matthew Morton, the reigning pitching crown winner, and who might win it again this season, and beat him in a pitcher's duel, and then followed that up with a no-hitter shutout as a rookie, the first rookie to do that since Trevor Goforth back in JAL 17. So very impressive stuff all around. This game day was a total pitcher's day. The batting was horrible, but a lot of that had to do with great pitching. That is the end of these highlights. I'm Commissioner Cale Johnson. Thanks for watching Game Day's Best.